whoever comes in. Hey guys, whoever comes in. Hey guys, whoever come in. Hey guys, whoever come in. How you doing this morning? It tells you on the top of it. It tells you on the top of that post. It tells you exactly who that person is. When you get a chance, go back and look. On the top of it, it tells you who it is. Not to be mean or anything like that, but just look on the top and it's going to tell you exactly who that person is to me. Hi, Miss Vanessa. How you doing? Thank you. I'm trying to. Yeah, I am trying to, honey. Um, this week has been. This week has been. I'm not gonna say difficult, but I'm gonna say that this week has been an eye opener. It's been an eye opener. Um, as you saw in the post, sometime this week, and I had already announced it on my last live, but my last live, yes, I was. That was the person that I cried about. Yes. And he was a family member of mine that I was close with. Yes. But like I was saying, it's okay, sweetie. It's okay. I just don't like to, and don't take it personal, okay? I just don't like it when people come onto the post and then they ask you who that person is and it's in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? That it shows you who that person is. And I'm not trying to be mean, so don't take offense to that. Jessica, don't take offense to it. It's just that a lot of people, bypass stuff and then they don't take the time out to look. And sometimes on this earth, when they don't take the time out to look at stuff, you have to remember when somebody deals with a death like that, um, people might take offense to it. You know what I'm saying? And I just prefer for people to take the time out, to see. You know what I'm saying? Hey, James, how you doing? I just want people to take the time out to see instead of assuming things. But the long story short, because I don't want to put everything out there. How you doing? Um, the reason why I haven't been live and I haven't been active that much on my page. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for understanding. Then getting offensive because a lot of people don't want to take the time out to understand where people's coming from. But the reason why I haven't been active and haven't been on live like that because I had to take the time out to reflect on my cousin's passing. Um, it was hurtful to find out. Hey, how you doing, sweetie? It was hurtful to find out that he died the way that he did. Because my cousin was only 53 years old. So basically, he was 10 years older than me. And when the last time I spoke to him, it was, get your work on, girl. You need to make that grind. But don't hurt yourself in the process doing that. Um, because he was at least about 13 years older than me. Because I'm 42, he was 53 when he passed. So he was about more than 10 years older than me. But mm, but it just really hurt me because the last time I spoke to him, because I thought the last time I saw him it was at my mom's funeral, but I must have had mistaken him to somebody else. But the last time when I spoke to him, he had told me that he was working as a chef in a nursing home for older people. And that was the last time that I heard from him. I haven't spoken to him for years. And to hear something like that out the blue happening, you know what I'm saying? It it took me back. And then not only that, it broke my heart because, to be very honest with y'all, my cousin was very loving. And even though he probably knew, and a couple of people knew him in the family. Hold on for a second, guys. Sorry about that, cause my kids like to be loud, and plus they out of school today. But out of the people in my dad's side of the family, even though if he knew that I was adopted or he didn't know, he still treated me like his cousin, his baby cousin. And every time when I would see him, he will always have this uplifting smile. Like he had that type of smile when he be smiling, then you get the little wrinkle frown in the middle of it, and he had that type of smile like his mom do. And he was very uplifting. He was always upbeat. And I was just talking to one of my friends not too long ago, yesterday, telling him, no, the day before yesterday, that he used to be the person that was always at the house parties. Because y'all know back in the day, because I'm talking to my 80 and 90 babies right now. Okay? You might as well say early 70s through the 80s and the 90s. And I know everybody knows that families, when they have house parties, they would have house parties, and they just won't invite just the family, but they would invite people in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? With open arms. And that's how it was back in the day, in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Because I'm an 80s baby. I'm not a 70s baby, but he is. He was a 70s baby. And I'm an 80s baby. So when I was younger, they used to have house parties. People used to party all night long. They can have a party all the way to Friday, all the way up to Monday. But that's if they was off on Monday, and sometimes they would have that all the way up to Sunday. And when I say that, when people used to do house parties like that back in the day, that was when it wasn't that much crime. It was crime, but it wasn't like as much crime as it is now. So, with that being said, he always would be the one that's doing the house parties, and I was the baby that had to be in the room with an adult with all the younger kids, while the teenagers that's like up in age, like you might as well say 16 to 17 years old, and they was able to go in there, but they couldn't drink, but they was able to go in there, have a good time, be dancing, having a good time and stuff like that. And I remember seeing that. And I remember he was one of the people that was the life of the party. But then once I got older, I remember him used to always sit there and say to me, "Dang, Kiki, you growing all up and everything, just blossoming." And that's one of the things that I'm going to miss about him, because like I said, he's full of life. And he was always positive. And even though he might not have told you what was going on with him, but he was still always up in spirit. And that's one of the things that I'm going to miss about my cousin. Um, but it had took us back and had us think, we lost a very good person, a very good person. So it took me back. So I had to take some time off of here. And I also wanted to do a topic that if anybody is dealing with a loss of someone or dealing with anything, I want you to relate to this topic that I'm going to be talking about this morning. And I know this is Friday morning, and this is supposed to be uplifting Friday, which it is. I'm just letting y'all know why y'all haven't seen me and have not seen me active like that, because I just had to take some time out for the family and everything. But I want to start on this topic and read this and give you my personal opinion about it, okay? In life, okay? Friendships change, divorces happen, people move on, others die. Money and jobs will come and go. Live long enough and your health and your body will change. It goes with the territorial of being human. The fact that you are still here gives you an advantage. Don't look back. Look straight ahead. Decide to use all of your knowledge, skills, and experiences and your life lessons from mistakes, defeation, and setbacks is to start over again. Life changes. You may not have the same life as before, but you can still enjoy your life. Basically, to sum up what this is saying, you're going to have friendships that's going to last, that's not going to last. If you are in a marriage, relationship, anything, divorces are going to happen. Not saying that you meant for them to happen, but it will happen. But that all depends on the two individuals that's in it. And also, people move on. Just like with my cousin passing, everybody's going to be concerned. Everybody's going to be, sending them food, sending them their condolences, sending them their guidance, sending them all the things that we need to get over a loss. But within the 2 weeks' time, everybody's going to move on like it's normal. Okay? And people do die because at times it was time for them to be called. A lot of us don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. That means God has called you up to fulfill the duties that you need to fulfill. And sometimes our day is early, sometimes our day is late. It all depends on what God wants us to do, you know? It all depends on him. Okay? Money and jobs will come and go. Now, I'm going to say this. Yes, we need money to survive. And we need jobs to work to be able to pay our bills and do whatever we need to do. But even though people don't want to accept the fact that money comes and goes, it's true. It is very true. And like I said before, at first, I didn't believe that because I always thought money was everything. I always thought that money was everything. I thought money was part of life, which it is, but it's not part of your life. Hey, April, it's not part of your life to the point that you make it consume your life. Because when you make money consume your life, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy life. You're not going to see what's really important in the picture. You're not going to see it. When you live long enough, health and body change, it will. Just like, for example, I'm 42 years old. Okay? I weigh 270 something pounds. Now, to some people, they would look at the fact because I'm tall. But, hey, NewTube, how you doing? And yes, okay, sweetie, you go ahead and enjoy your Friday, okay? Thank you for stopping by. And again, thank you for your condolences. I really appreciate it. When you go through changes in your body, when you get older, yeah, like I said, I'm 42 years old and I weigh 270 something pounds. I might not look like it, but yes, I am. Yeah, I weigh that much. I ain't ashamed to say it. I'm a big girl. But, hi Jeffrey, but I want to lose the weight because, for one, I need to get back, not to my old self like I want to be skinny. That's not what I want. I want to get back where I was, that I can be full of energy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about my health. And even though I'm young, because a lot of people gonna say, "Well, you're young, so why you tripping?" It doesn't matter if you're young. It doesn't matter if you're old. It doesn't matter if you an infant. You have to treat your body as a temple, and you have to be healthy. You have to be healthy, and not to spill all the information about my daughter, but are you going to document your weight loss journey? I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about doing that. But that's not like really what my page is all about, really. But I have been thinking about it. Um, but my daughter, she's going through a weight loss journey. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but I will say that she's going through a journey. And I also told her whatever she wanted to do, I will support her. Because that's the only reason why I'm doing this, is because of her, because I want to encourage her. But yeah, you have to basically treat your body as a temple, because if you don't, nobody else is going to do it for you. All of this stuff is all about part of being human. All of this is part of life. This is part of being human. You know what I'm saying? And you have to take in consideration, in life you're going to go through that. You're going to go through all them changes. The fact, okay? Now this is the most important part right here. The fact that you're still here, that you still breathing, that you still able to walk, you able to breathe, you able to be with your kids if you have any kids, or be with your parents if they still living, or anything like that. The fact that you are still here, you need to take advantage of that. You have to take advantage of that, because if you don't take advantage of that, before you know it, everything's going to pass right by you, and then you're going to be like, what in the world happened? What happened? You know what happened? What made everything go so fast? Because you let it pass by you, and you didn't cherish life the way that you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? My dad is about to turn 76. If I'm not mistaken, he's 76, about to turn 77. One of them ages, he's in the 70s. And my dad, when the last time I looked at him at a flashback, he was 60. Now all of a sudden he up to the 70s. I'm like, what in the world? Just like with my kids used to be babies, and now I have a teenager that's right across the hall from me. He's about to graduate high school this year. Then I got a 16-year-old that at some point she's going to be a junior. Then my 14-year-old that I talked about that going through her weight loss journey, she's about to go to high school. And then I'm going to have 2 kids that's in middle school that's going to the 8th grade. And I'm sitting there like, what in the world? My kids had just, they just flew up. And you thought that, because everybody kept on saying, this going to fly past you. But you would sit there and think, yeah, right, it ain't going to pass me. Yes, it did. It went past me. It just flew. Time just flew like a second. I'm like, huh? And now I'm at this age of 42. And still here. So you have to take advantage of that. You have to. And don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back of anything. Don't look back on how you was in the past, or how your kids was. Last time I looked, I was right. Exactly. And don't be looking back in the past what you used to do. Don't be looking past of what your kids used to do. Don't be looking past of how you was hurting when you lost someone. Because I was doing that a lot, before I got, on YouTube and started doing this. I was looking back a lot. But I was looking at the negative sense of how she passed away. Instead of you thinking in the negative sense, think of the positive sense of what you used to do with her, or what you used to do with him, or what y'all do as a family. And that's what I was doing when I was off of here. I was thinking about the good memories of me and my cousin, and how he would sit there. I got that haircut like a character. Oh, Harriet Tubman. You got that haircut like the character, the cartoon character. Why, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I take that as a compliment. I don't take it personal. But nice to meet you, Harriet Tubman. You have to basically think about the positive things instead of looking on a negative. I tell people that I break. Right. And you have to look in the positive sense, because it hurts the fact that person's gone. But when you think in the negative sense, it's gonna bring you down. And it's okay to cry. It is okay to cry, and that's the number one thing that I had to learn too. It's okay to cry, but you have to keep yourself navigating in the positive, on a positive note, because of the simple fact that you don't want to stay down. You want to stay uplifted. You want to stay positive. You want to stay on a, you you don't want to stay in that rut, because once you stay in that rut, then that's when that depression come in and you feeling some type of way, and you don't want to do that. So it's better for you to think of the good memories than the bad memories. And that's what I had to do while I was off of here. Okay? Look straight ahead. Whatever you did in your past, whatever happened last month, even if you lost a job or something, you know what I'm saying? Still look forward. Still look ahead. Don't look back. Because even though that might have happened to you, or those things or whatever happened to you, people, and I don't want to say the D word, but people, negative people, and the man that's downstairs, he wants you to keep on looking back and not look forward and not, move on or anything like that, because of the simple fact that he wants you to stay stuck. He wants you to stay where you're at so you won't move on and enjoy life and everything like that. But like I said, life is full of ups and downs. And like I said any other time, that you're going to go through ups and downs, and that's why life is so interesting, because you go through those changes. You go through a whole lot of things. And also, decide to use all of your knowledge, your skills, experiences, and your life lessons from your mistakes. Use it as a tool. Like, for example, me losing my mom, I'm taking the experiences and the knowledge and giving it to you, what I've been through. And letting you know that you're not alone, but you can find different ways to overcome it than to stay stuck. Because instead of you staying stuck in that same area, you can think of positive things. You know what I'm saying? And then the experience that you had, you can give that type of knowledge to, that person. Like, it can deal with somebody passing away, or it can deal with YouTube. Like, if somebody is about to get monetized, instead of having people walking around here trying to figure out what to do with this and that and the third, if you get the knowledge, pass it to the next person. Don't let the other person be sitting there like wondering, like, well, how you do this and how you do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, just, pointing fingers, but I'm just saying, anything that you experience, it could be YouTube, it could be outside of YouTube, it could be at your job, it could be anywhere. Whatever experiences that you go through, you can send it to the next person. And the life lessons from your mistake, whatever mistakes you made, you can sit there and fix the mistake and make it into something else, and it becomes a lesson learned that you can give it to somebody else, so they can be able to relate to that and give it to the next person. That's how you go through life, build your community, or make your own business or whatever. I mean, that's how I look at it. Defeats, setbacks, starting over. It's nothing wrong with starting over. It's nothing wrong with starting over. I had to start over this year. When I was out of a job for, and let me make this clear, it wasn't 6 months. It was at least about 3 to 4 months, not 6 months, 4 months that I was out of a job. And that was a big setback for me. Now I'm working, making grind, even though that grind, every time I get paid, is gone. But at least I'm blessed to get my grind. At least I'm blessed that I'm able, that I have a job. Even though you might have a setback, you can still start over. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter. It don't matter what age you are, what section you are in your life. It does not matter. As long as you learn from your mistakes, defeats, and setbacks, and starting over again, at least you getting your butt up and starting over again. Instead of you sitting there crying and wondering, why is this not happening? Why that not happening? you need to look at it as it's a blessing. It's a blessing. And it should be a blessing that you had experienced the defeats, setbacks, and starting over, because there's nothing wrong with starting over. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. Life changes. It's nothing wrong with life changes. That's what makes you a beautiful person. When you go through a lot of changes, that's when they become experiences. And when they become experiences, they become lessons. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that at all. I think that's how I became the person who I am today. And I look so strong and confident. I still got a long way to go. But by me being as confident as I am, it's because I'm going through life experiences and then I made mistakes. But that doesn't make me a bad person. It makes me a better person, because at least I can say I made this mistake and made it into an experience, and then I learned from it, and then I told myself not to go through this mess again. So it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. You may not have the same life as before, but you can still enjoy it. I'm going to read that again. You may not have the same life as before, but you can enjoy your life. A lot of people feel like when they have to sit there and have to start over from scratch all the way up. Happy Friday too. This is not a bad topic. I'm just lifting up people and let them know whatever, auntie, okay? But just because you have to start all over again, it does not mean you can't enjoy your life. I was with my daughter yesterday. We went to our doctor's appointment yesterday. And even though we got the answer, well, I got the answer about her and I got the answer about me. Even though we got the answers that we did not want to hear, but we still enjoyed our time together. She had fun, I had fun. And I think in a lot of ways when our kids in a way give us signals when they want to spend time with you. They don't tell you right off, but you get that sense they want that time. And I know for my baby girl Sierra, she ain't gonna say but so much, but you could tell with her she wanted my time. So that's why when I went to the doctor's appointment with her, because we have the same doctor, and she had learned a couple of days, a couple of things that day. Is this yours? Yes. And she had learned a couple of things that she didn't know, and I had to tell her, which I'm not gonna put on this live because it's private. But it was a lot of things she didn't know. And I had to explain to her what needed to be done or whatever the case may be, and so on and so forth. But the point that I'm trying to make is that when I took the time out to be with my daughter yesterday and experienced all these things that we had to get done, that was time together. Even though it's bad. Yeah, we did. We did. And I'm gonna cherish that day. And maybe she might look back on it and be like, Mom, even though I was going through what I was going through with my, weight loss journey or whatever, but at least I had some time with you or whatever. Which is cool. I don't have no problem with that. And considering the fact that that I have a busy schedule, like I have to work today, I have to work overnight tonight, then have to work Saturday, then have to work Sunday. So it's a good thing that I went on live today, because if I didn't, and then by me doing the short that I did yesterday, which is supposed to have been a video, but I didn't do the angle correctly. But anyway, but least it's showing that I'm active and I'm trying to do what I need to do. But the fact is, what I'm trying to get you to understand, whatever setbacks that you got going on, whatever thing that you got going on, even if you lost a loved one, you can still learn to enjoy life. Because I know for a fact, my cousin, and I think it was a sign why I had a dream about him. Because I had a dream about him when I was laying in the bed, and then I woke up. And I think the reason why I had that dream, because he was telling me, hey, Kiki, and I woke up. He didn't say nothing else. And I think that was a sign of him telling me, don't be sitting here feeling down about me. Just keep living and keep on enjoying life, because he was the type of person that enjoyed life. He was very uplifted. He was very outgoing. He's not into the drama. He's not into the gossip. He was just into life. And when every time my aunt had a house party or anything or any type of gathering, he was there. He was always uplifted. He was always saying, hi my Kiki, hi my Kiki, how you doing? You growing up so fast. And he was the only cousin. On my dad's side, all my cousins treated me like I was their cousin. But as far as my mom's side of the family, I had a few people that treated me different because of the simple fact that I wasn't my mother's child biologically. But that's fine. I mean, people are going to have their opinions about that. But the point that I'm trying to make is that my cousin wouldn't want me to sit here and feel down. He would want me to enjoy my life, and he would probably want his daughter to do the same thing. But it's gonna take her time to heal, because that was her daddy, and she was close to her daddy. All his kids was close to him, and it's gonna take them time because that was their dad. And in life, we're gonna have setbacks, but it's all about you getting up, living, and continue to live, and continue to learn lessons, and continue to get right back up, even though you might have a setback. We all gonna have setbacks somewhere. We all gonna have setbacks. It's not a darn perfect person on this platform, on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere, did not ever have a setback. They might not tell you they had a setback, but they did. They just don't want you to know. So when you have a setback, okay, definitely it's going to take, yep, it is. And I know it is, because I'm a witness of it. I lost my mother, but I lost my mother at the age of 42. No, at the age of 40. No, age of 40. Lost my mom at the age of 40. And that was hard. That was hard. So I can relate to my cousin. And I know how she feels. But I know at some point, and she's in high school. She's in high school too, and that's the worst part. Because she's a junior, if I'm not mistaken, she's a junior in high school. And I think that's the worst part of your life, to lose your parent. But at least I was grateful to have 40 years of my mother in my life. But I think she's in between 16 to 17 years old. So that's the roughest part of losing a parent, is when you lose them at a young age. But regardless at any age that you're in, it's hard to lose a parent. Regardless of anything. Regardless of anything. And I love my cousin. I love my cousin. And I am going to miss him. I'm going to miss him, miss him, miss him. So much. I'm going to miss his presence so much. And that's why it was so hard for me. And that's why I haven't been on here, because it just took me back. Which it is a setback. But even though it take you back and that's a setback, it doesn't mean you stop living. The whole point of this topic for today is, if you lose someone, when you lose someone, you can sit your butt down for at least a day. Or maybe whenever. It's not really a time limit. But at some point, you're going to have to start continuing living. Because, like Vanessa said, and she said it in the comments, I didn't ignore you, Vanessa. I saw exactly what you said, girl. I'm multitasking. I'm talking with my big mouth and watching everybody when they make comments. You have to get back up and start living. Because life waits for no one. And then it really hurt me that even though I wasn't related to D'Angelo, but baby, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. BG. But even though D'Angelo, I'm not related to him. Hey, man. Even though I wasn't related to D'Angelo, but that's the same time. Because I said to myself, when it comes down to the day of anniversaries or whatever, he died on the same day as my cousin did. And that man knew how to sing. When I said that man knew how to sing, he had every woman jumped up. Especially when he did the video when all this part was showing and then the bottom part was cut off. I'm just like, I know back in the day I almost passed out like I was about to fall out of my chair. But that was the let's just say he was another Brian McKnight, okay? He was another Brian McKnight, okay? Yes, he was. And he was a nice chocolate brother too. I wish I could have dated him, but hey, God, it wasn't God's plan to bless me with him. So hey, had to take it how it is. Hey, my la la, my la la, my la la. Happy Friday. But yeah, guys, I did this topic because so I can be relieved from the pain of my cousin. So I can let it rest in peace. I also wanted to put it out there that a lot of people out here had a lot of setbacks and they are probably feeling some type of way that and I'm just going to keep it thorough. I'm going to keep it real. They're going to be like, God dang it, why do I have to start back here? Why do I have to start back there? Why do I have to do this, do this, do this? I got another setback and then I got to do this, I got to do that. Ugh. I ain't going to lie. That used to be me not too long ago. But I had to realize that when you have setbacks and challenges and defeats, it makes you a stronger, on person. It makes you so strong. It makes you so strong that you did not know that you had the power to go through anything. And them setbacks gonna piss you off. They are. They're gonna piss you off. It's gonna make you feel like, God dang it, But when you get a setback, instead of being mad, be determined to defeat it, to fight through it. Then once you get to that level, you're gonna be like, damn, I went through all this, and now look at me. I'm free. I can breathe. And I also want to dedicate this live to my cousin. Because when I say I'm going to miss him, I'm going to miss his beautiful face and that beautiful smile that's so captivating. And I'm not going to ever see him in a house party again if we ever have one in the near future. But like I said, I'm thinking of good memories of him. I am. I'm not going to think about how he died. I'm not going to think about his sickness or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to think about how he brought life on my dad's side of the family, and how important he was to the family, and how he would turn your life upside down in a good way and bring a smile on your face. And like I said on my community post, if you want to know what he looks like, he's on my community post. And that's the type of person he was. He was just, and I want to cry right now, but I don't want to work myself up. Had no waterworks on here because I did enough crying that day. Because when I did that last live, if y'all want to see the remaking of that live, y'all can. Because I was so upset. But it's going to be good tears. It's not going to be sad tears. It's going to be good tears. And just for the record, this is not a sad live. This is still an optimistic live, but I'm just trying to let it be known that you can still have good memories when you lose someone. It don't have to be all with talking about how they died and what they went through. No. Mm-mm. That's not being optimistic. That's being down. The optimistic part of this month for me is all about positive energy, positive memories, all that good stuff. And me, I'd rather talk about the good memories of him than to think about when he was, whatever, he was sick or whatever case may be, because that's what is going to make you feel so down. And we don't need that. We don't need that. You need to stay optimistic. You need to stay positive. You need to stay confident and just keep on living, because that's what that person, whoever passes away or whatever, that's what they want you to do. Even though you're going to be in mourning, but they still want you to live. They don't want you to just sit there and be sad and moping around, and they wouldn't want that. And if they would want you to do that, that's selfish of them. That's selfish of them. You have to keep living. You have to keep on moving forward. You have to keep on pressing on, because that's what life is all about. That's what makes life interesting, and that's when life becomes more beautiful. Not just life being beautiful, but make you more beautiful as a person, because you experienced it. You went through, as they call it, you went through the treacherous. And when you go through the treacherous and you go through a whole lot of other things, that's when you go through those experiences. When you go through those experiences, that's when you can sit there and say, well, damn, I went through this and I went through what? And I went through all of this stuff, and then I went through the trenches, man. I made it through that. What? Because that's how I'm feeling right now. Because I thought I would have been sitting around crying about my cousin and would have been all over the place. Child, please, I'm up here talking to y'all and telling y'all what to do. I would have been sitting around looking crazy. But no, not going to do that. I'm telling you what you should do. Now it's up to you what you want to do. But me, I'm going to keep on living, because that's what my cousin would want me to do. He want me to keep on living. He would want me to keep on smiling and keep on doing me and live his memory the right way. And he didn't even know that I was doing this. I haven't had a chance to tell him that I was doing this, but now he's up in heaven now. So he probably sitting there saying, oh, damn, Kiki, you doing that? Really? And knowing him, he probably be like, oh, that's good. If I was you, I'd keep on going. Yep. I think my cousin would have said that. And then he still would have sat there and said the same thing. How's my Kiki doing? How my Kiki doing? You growing up, Kiki? How you doing, my Kiki? How you doing, my Kiki? Yep. And he was and then the thing about it is too, that's another reason why I'm drinking out this cup, because he was a Commander fan and a Redskin fan. Yep. He was a Redskin fan. Then when they changed over to the Commander fan, he used to talk to my dad about the games and stuff like that. So yeah, guys. Oh, Slim, don't think I ignored you. I waved at you. I don't want you to think I didn't say hi to you. But hi, sweetheart. But yeah, I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him. When I say I'm going to miss him, hey, boo, Diamond. How you doing, Diamond? Diamond in the sky. But I am going to miss him. Seriously, I am. I'm going to miss him. And I'm so glad for I want to thank all the people that went to my community post and happy Friday to you too. I want to thank everybody that went to my community post and gave me their condolences. I really truly appreciate that, because that had eased my pain. And it also kept me uplifted. It really did. And I truly appreciate that. And the love and support. Like I said, I'm sorry I haven't been on live like that. I just needed some time to myself and take time out. And, talk to the family and stuff like that. So that's why nobody hasn't really heard from me like that. But I just needed some time to myself to reflect. And it wasn't so much that I wanted to reflect by crying, but I just wanted to reflect all the memories that I had with my cousin before he had died. So I just needed that time to myself. But I'm so happy to be back on live. I really am happy about being on live today, this morning. And hopefully I can do some more lives with the busy schedule that I have. Because it's going to be pretty hectic for me to do a live. But I might go back with making videos like I've been doing. I think the last video, well, it's supposed to have been a video, but it ended up being a short. But the last one I did, I think I did pretty good on the video, but I just need to get more used to it. So I'm gonna try to do some more lives, but then after that I'm gonna start going towards doing videos more, because like I said, considering the schedule that I have with me working, it can kind of conflict with it. But other than that, I do love doing lives. I love doing the lives, and I appreciate y'all love and support that y'all give me. I try to do the best I can to make y'all happy, to keep y'all entertained, and make y'all feel welcomed, because this is a safe place for everybody to speak their mind, be themselves, and the whole 9 yards. But like I always say, even Maine can tell you, Les can tell you, Slim can tell you, anybody that's a moderator and that's been on my lives, you are allowed to express yourself. I don't have no problem with that at all. But once you get out of line and be disrespectful, that's when my moderator is going to have to take you out. So, but I try not to have people get taken out of this, out of my lives, because I want people to learn things, and whatever topics I do, whatever advice I give you, I want you to learn from it. The whole purpose of me doing this is to tell you my life experiences, but at the same time, I want to uplift you. By me telling you my life experiences, I can tell you what I've been through, and then also I can still uplift you at the same time, because that's what it's all about. It's all about, when I have experiences, I teach you, I tell you what you should do, and whatever you take from it, you learn from it. That's the whole purpose of me doing this. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that's so important about my channel, this is a positive only environment on my channel. I don't say no negativity at all. If you have any type of negative energy on my channel, and I feel it, it's gonna seem funny to some people, but if I feel some negative energy, I don't know how the mods can read it, because I think some of them can read it. If I feel like it's a negative vibe that's coming through my chat or something, the mods are gonna know. They're gonna feel it, because it's all about energy on my channel. So all of us go by energy, and when we feel like that energy is not right, like I said, my moms, they're gonna handle their business. So like I said, you're more than welcome to be here. This is a safe place. Hey, this is a safe place, and when I say it's safe, it is safe. This is a safe place. This is a very safe place. You know what? You OG, you a mess. But this is a safe area. This is a safe place. You know what? But this is a safe environment. You can say whatever you want to say, but just don't be disrespectful. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. But like I said, this has been a wonderful live. And like I said, normally I would do a live this afternoon, but I cannot do that because I have to work tonight, because I have to be at work at 11 p.m. at night, all the way up to 5 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes it can go all the way to whatever. So that's why, like I said, most of the time, if y'all expect me to go live, I'm not able to go live on a Pacific day. And then on top of that, I can't give you a regular schedule, because my schedule, how I work, my schedule is just all over the place. So the only thing that I can do is go on live on my days off. But then also too, it depends on if my kids have any doctor's appointments and stuff like that too. So what I'm going to start doing is just come on live when I come live. Or I can post it up on my community post so everybody can know when I'm going live, so everybody won't miss my lives. Because I know it's a lot of people that be saying, "Oh my God, I missed your live. I'm sorry." And then I be telling them they can watch the replay. And what I notice is a lot of people like to look at replays, and then a lot of people don't like to watch replays. But when you do replays, that do give us watch time hours. It does do that. It does help us in that way. So instead of feeling like, Well, damn, I want to catch her live right then and there. Look at it like this. If you look at my lives, you know, and look at the repeats, it can help with watch time hours. And not only that, when you make a comment, I'm going to see your comment and then I'm going to reply to your comment. Now, I might not sometimes reply to your comment right then and there, but when I do, it's going to be a nice reply. So I don't want nobody to sit there and think that I don't pay nobody no attention and I don't value your comments. I do. I value everybody's comments. And like I be telling people all the time, once you come into this community and you start being here, you become a sweetheart. And you're going to become a sweetheart or a pretty heart or whatever you want to call yourself. But I prefer to say sweetheart. And you are very welcome to stay in this community. If you like the live that I have done today, you are more than welcome to subscribe and like and share. If you did not like it, that's cool. That's fine. I'm not going to take offense to that. But I just want everybody to know that whatever you hear from this, just know that whatever advice I give you, just learn from it. And then if you have experienced it, share it with the next person. A lot of people would like to know. They might not express to you, oh, I want to know this, I want to know that. Maybe it has to take for them to go through something, and then at some point when you notice they need help, help them. You know, help them. That's all it takes. Just like people be saying all the time, it take a village to raise a kid. It take a village, even though we are adults, but it takes a village to help a community. And I'm all about helping people. I'm all about helping people. I'm not, bringing nobody down or nothing like that, because that's not what we need. This is the time of the season of being grateful, having gratitude, and also experiencing whatever we need to experience to make our life better. And I feel like all the experiences that I've been through within the past 2 to 4 months, and now I'm at where I'm at right now, that's because I have experienced whatever, and I learned from it, and I looked at it as a lesson, and look at me now. I'm shining like a diamond. And I'm going to continue to do that because I am powerful enough to accept the experiences, the lessons, and the setbacks. Because in order for you to learn in life, you have to have setbacks. Now, if you're not able to accept the setbacks or deal with all that stuff, then that means you have not experienced anything. You have not experienced anything, and then on top of that, you don't want to take it as a lesson learned. But that's what life is all about. It's all about taking lessons and having experiences. And that's why I made this page, because I have life experiences and I would like to share it with you. But on that note, my darlings, my sweethearts, my pretty hearts, I enjoyed making this live today. I want to thank everybody that is in my chat and everybody that had came into my chat. Please like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to make a comment, you can tell me what you learned from this, what you liked from this, what experiences have you been through. You can tell me anything. Anything that you want. Anything. And I'd be more than welcome to say what I feel. And on that note, my sweethearts, my pretty hearts, the Pretty Heart Conqueror is out and shining like a diamond. Love y'all. Bye.